Welcome to the RVCC podcast, where we want to help you grow in your faith, lead your family, and influence your workplace. Hey, what's up? I'm Kevin Moore, the director of RVCC, as well as your host, and we have got some incredible events coming up. We have an Ironman coming up this next week. We've got some ladies events coming up very soon. We also have our big fall event that's coming up in October. Here's what you need to do. You need to go to rvcommunityforchrist.com and check out the events section and see all of the things that you, your family, and friends can be a part of. Make sure to go to the website and check out the events about Ironman, upcoming women's events, and especially our big fall event and how you can be a part. Hey, today we have got a special guest. We've got the president of Bethel University, and we're going to be talking about organizational leadership. And whether you are a single mom, whether you are a dad, whether you are a group leader, whether you are a business owner, a ministry leader, or a plant manager or ops manager, you are going to get a ton out of this interview because we break down leadership. We talk about authenticity. We talk about following. We talk about mission. So get out a notebook, get out a pen, and get ready to grow. Here is our interview with Dr. Dee. Well, hey, thanks so much for listening today. Today we have a very, very special guest, Dr. Dee McDonald from Bethel University, the president, sitting right here in the president's office, and I like it. It's nice. It's nice here. Tell us a little bit, Doctor, about your role here at Bethel, how you got on here, and then also maybe some things that you've done pre.
I'm privileged to lead Bethel University. It's the biggest honor and undertaking of my life. But I think, as people have asked me, I've said I can't think of a better reason or purpose to give my life to. And there's a lot of things out there. But I just think Bethel is incredible. We're located in such an incredible area. I grew up in LaPorte, just 45 minutes west of here too. So in a lot of ways, kind of coming home and familiar with the area, but just love Bethel, love the mission here, love the people. And I think we've got a lot in front of us of opportunity to take a lot of ground and do some special things that the Lord's going to bless us to be able to do. So looking forward to the future, but things I've led. I started off leading maybe, gangs in elementary school. Let's go with that.
Okay. He's a gang leader. Gang leader from Christian University president. That's a book. That's a book right there.
Oh, yeah. Definitely not gangs. I got into sports really early and played anything and everything. And just was sort of, I guess, a natural leader. Research or the theory behind it would say, there's a great man theory, right? Are you just designed and wired to do this? Traits theory would say you can be conditioned or taught to do this. If you ascribe to either of those, it would. I've always said I've led my whole life just because I don't know. I've been bullheaded enough, or I've been passionate enough, or whatever you want to say, or other people didn't, and I was like, "Let's go, boys and girls." So I started leading in sports, and that was really I was a catcher in baseball. Yeah. So very much what you would think of as a catcher, kind of a field general, as most people call it.
In the game, yep.
You've got all 8 people in front of you. You're directing traffic. You're instilling confidence. You're, leading the team on the field in a lot of ways. Kind of like a point guard in basketball, right?
Yes.
You got the ball in your hands. You're calling plays. You're positioning everything, and they feed off of you in a lot of ways. So went through high school, had a great career at LaPorte. Then played baseball in college, and just always gravitated naturally towards leadership. I think I got that naturally from my dad. He was a senior pastor.
Okay.
Was growing up, so I'm a pastor's kid. But he was the only pastor my whole life. And so he led. He's a great pastor. But he also, one of the things I picked up from him was that he genuinely cared about people. We've all known those people who they cared about you when you could help them get what they wanted.
Yes.
They weren't necessarily a leader.
Yeah.
They were a user, let's call them. And my dad just genuinely cared about people and really asked or wanted nothing in return.
That's awesome.
And so I had a natural wiring for leadership because I wanted to win, right? I'm an achiever, and I wanted our team to accomplish great things, and I was fine sacrificing or doing the dirty work or whatever needed to be done along the way. But it was also about bringing everybody with me. It was about when we win, that means I win. So that was the ultimate goal. And
That's awesome.
Other ways, I mean, I've coached. I thought I was going to be a college baseball coach. That was that was my life plan from the start.
Okay.
And I got into admissions and higher education, and I just got bit by the bug. I saw the transformation that takes place in these young people's lives. And going from like completely disengaged, like I don't go to church, I don't do this, I don't zero like care about that, to see them then fully engage, spiritually and academically, and maybe they didn't do well in high school academically, and it clicks, and they get passionate about something, or they get to not take the classes they don't want to when they get to college. You're like, I get to do the stuff I like. This is great. So and that just kind of went from there. I got into higher ed, and I've been in higher education 20 years now. I've been in executive leadership a little over a decade. Okay. At the cabinet level and VP level, and different opportunities there, and. This is kind of the journey. Hopefully this is the last stop. That's the plan. We've got, run out a good 20, 25 years here at Bethel and hand the baton off to the next person, hopefully in a much better place and ready for the next season and phase of the university here. That's my work and kind of my leadership journey, I would say, in a nutshell.
So as a leader over a university, we're speaking to people from, like we said, off air. As everybody listening to from a single mom to a married dad to a young 20-something coming out of college, or someone listening that is a purchasing agent, someone's a leader of a purchasing department, someone works slide outs, or they're a plant manager or an ops manager. All of those are leadership positions in some regard at different scales. You are leading a university. Tell us a little bit about the scope and what it is to be a university president, and what's kind of your role, and everything from how many departments are at Bethel University, professors, what's the team look like? Because you're talking to people who have, I know one guy I've got one in my mind right now. He oversees four RV plants. Wow. With obviously multiple people under him. Yeah. What's kind of like your scale of leadership here as the president? Just kind of set the stage before we get going into our conversation.
Great question. About 200 total employees, 200 full-time employees. Yes. We've got about 50 faculty. So those would be full-time professors, teachers, a plethora of adjunct faculty that teach.
Plethora, man, that's a college-educated word right there. I like that word.
So tons of people that teach a class or work part-time or contract work or things like that, and then about 120 to 150, depending on the time of the year, all those different pieces of staff, people to make it happen. Yep. As far as the university structure, we have 6 on our cabinet. Okay. So that would be at the C-suite. Yep. And then we have lots of other different departments. I don't know, honestly, the total number. Sure, yeah. But we've got a couple deans academically, so we kind of split all of our majors and departments academically into 2 people, 2 leaders, so they can kind of tag team that. It's still too many, if I'm being honest. We need to really parse that out a little bit more and probably move to 3 or 4, but that requires money. It requires time as well. You've got to do it right. You can't just pull stuff away from people 100%. And bring people in.
Well, you can, but it'll go against what we're getting ready to talk about.
It's bumpy. Let's just say that. Yes. But lots of different departments. Those 6 leaders, really, if you think about leadership, you can't lead everybody personally. Most of the research says you can lead up to 7 people well, individually in a one-on-one leadership mentorship relationship. You get past that and you have significantly diminishing returns. So my job is to lead my cabinet team well. And there are days and weeks and months where I do that. And there are days and weeks and months where I do not do it well.
Yep.
And so you've got to just be constantly, one of the big differentiators for me in leadership is, and I learned this, I would say early on in my doctoral work, I didn't know about that. I didn't think about this. I just did stuff. But I've always been a reflector. And that's partly of my wiring. We can go to Enneagram and all those strengths-based and all that stuff. But it's just how I'm wired. I reflect on my day in my head. And so I'll go back and think, I didn't like how the interaction went, or man, that went really well. And so I'm a follow-up guy. So I like to follow up, either written or text or just something. And I like to reflect on what went well and what didn't. And then I'd like to go back to that and revisit it with that person. Nice. Especially if it went really, really poorly. Go back the next day and be like, hey, I didn't like how that went. Or like, I'm sorry, I apologize. I was out of line. Or I should have reacted differently. Or I'd like to do that different. So that reflection piece is really, really important. And I do that. I get to do that a lot. But as the role of president, man, advice, the higher up in leadership you move, the thicker skin you need to have, and the less you can listen to all of the noise around you. I think that's why leadership is so lonely. Because if you're doing it right, there's always going to be people that don't like it, people that love it, and a majority of people in the middle that are like, it's okay, but I wish it was better, or that's prettier, or
Absolutely.
I would do it this way, or
Absolutely.
With like half context or whatever that might be.
If I was in charge,
but I was like that too as a follower. I would second guess all the time. I had zero context, but I'd be like, man, I'll bet this is happening, right? Because we write our own narratives. When we don't have information, we fill in the blanks, and humans aren't overtly positive. And so as a young leader, I often think back to that. I think about that a lot in my self-reflection, as a follower here, how would I have interpreted this? What would I have done? What would I have thought? That's why I'm not shocked when people are like, yeah, I think you're a bonehead. I'm like, I've said that before. I've thought that before. You're right on some counts, right? But here's what you don't know, 100%. Right? That went into this.
100%. I've often heard if you had two poles and you're a leader, you should have a lot of people on the pole that doesn't like you, and you should have a lot of people around the pole that really love, that really are for you. And there shouldn't be two. If there's a whole lot of people in the middle, you're not really leading. You're just selling ice cream. And leadership is tough. You're going to have people for you. You're going to have people against you. And that's where I think what the topic, knowing the direction we're going to go, I think the topic that we're going to discuss in leadership is so important, because it's not a leadership. And those of you listening, you've experienced this as well. Leadership's not about position. It's not about just getting that job and saying you're in charge. There's so much more behind the scenes, and there's leadership is in. I always say leadership is inside out, not outside in. It starts from inside, and that's some of the direction that we're going to go today. And so, Doctor, if you would just kind of give kind of an umbrella statement, kind of the direction and the topic that we're going to be going over today.
So I did most of my doctoral research on authentic leadership, authentic followership, and their role and relationship with organizational commitment. And what are the elements that go into that? I was able to prove a couple of the pieces attached to that and say that there was connectivity and relationship, positive correlation or relationship between those. I will get less academic and
hey, stay academic.
Dissertation-y
yes.
Here as we go along. But that's sort of the academic. I was really just taken with a couple things. I came into my coursework and the theory work and learning and thinking like I really don't like authoritarian, right? I've played for, I've worked for, I have experienced some authoritarian leaders, and I'm like, man, that's just not that's hard to do. Love transformational leadership because everybody loves the transformation that happens, right? But then there was this little piece called authentic leadership. And I kind of started to really resonate with that. I was like, but I like transformational, but I like authentic because it insinuates that you're actually being who God created you to be. Like you're being completely yourself.
Yes.
And your wirings and how you think and how you do things, and you're comfortable in your own skin.
Yep.
And everything that you do flows out of that. Then I took a class called followership, which completely blew my mind. I'd never heard about it before, never even heard the word. I was like, you made that up.
Yeah.
Like I literally said to my professor, I'm like, you made that up. That's not a thing. There are no books on that.
You needed a class, so you just made up a word.
Right, exactly, yeah. But followership changed my perspective on leadership, and it's basically flipping leadership on its head. And it says, no longer are leaders worthy of being followed because of their position, the positional leadership piece, right?
Yes.
Now we're recognizing that followers actually give their permission to be led, or they don't. So I started thinking about organizations. Well, was I a follower who didn't give permission to be led? Is that why I had friction and conflict in my work? And I've never had a lot of that per se, but was I being a good follower?
Yeah.
If we start to talk about faith, am I a good follower of Jesus? Right? And I aim to be. I try to be, you know, but we all fail.
Yeah.
And so I started thinking about that. Well, and then you get back to the old philosophy of you can't lead until you've learned how to follow, which
Absolutely.
a lot of people would resonate with.
Yeah.
Right? And so it kind of goes back to that. So the authentic leadership and then authentic followership, and then what contributes to people actually committing to an organization and buying in.
Okay.
Which is very trust dependent.
Very much so
as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're listening today, grab a notebook, grab a pen, grab a tablet of some sort, and take some notes. Let's get ready to grow here. I'm gonna throw you some questions, Doctor.
All right.
When you say authenticity, what do you mean by that? Authentic. What is that?
Being completely who you are.
Okay.
And communicating who I am, how I'm wired, and there's no fake, there's no imposter syndrome, there's no trying to be something you're not. Like there are times where you say fake it till you make it, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's not always good, right?
Yeah.
Just be you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I remember my college president used to tell this story, and so I'm going to steal it. So Dr. John Bowling, he gets the credit for it. He would tell this on like visit days. He said he was in, I think it was London. He was over in Europe, and he saw a kid walking across this plaza, and the T-shirt said, "Be yourself, only better."
That's good.
And so he would tell this story, and he would often say, you know, you have to be careful about reading T-shirts out loud. You have to read them in your head first before you say them out loud.
Absolutely.
But I think that's really what we're after as leaders. Is be yourself, like be completely and totally you. However, always be getting better.
Best version.
And figure out what's the next level that I'm being called to. What's the next level my team needs from me?
Yeah.
What's the next level that I can give or that I feel like, man, this is the next step for me. Because it is a growth opportunity.
And what you're saying though is inside of that, as we're leading, again, whatever it is that we're leading right now, as we're striving to get better at vision casting, get better at troubleshooting, get better at, problem solving, conflict resolution, whatever it is.
Yeah.
As we're striving to get better, we do not have to, and we should not lose who we are and how we're wired.
Yep.
It's a better version of ourselves.
Yep. And you see that all the time.
Yeah.
We all have friends. We can name them.
Yeah.
Everybody listening to this, you just had a name flash through your mind because you said, well, when they got to this, their character or integrity,
they changed.
It didn't match the position they had then went into.
No.
And that's so sad. And that's actually one of my biggest fears. I'll be a little like candid and vulnerable. That's one of my biggest fears, and that's a prayer that I often say is I don't want to be changed by this position and give people what I think they want. I need to be true to me.
Absolutely.
And be who I am and I mean, man, I'm messed up.
Yeah.
We're all like, we're messed up. Like,
Yeah.
we're just like, I'm weird, or I'm this, or I think
Yeah.
this, or whatever. Like, stay that way.
Yes.
The world needs you to be completely who you were made and wired to be. And that's who, when I interviewed for this position, I wasn't nervous, hardly at all, because I knew in my head, if they're looking for me to lead, then I have to be 100% me, because if they don't want me, then that is a gift and a blessing to me.
Yes.
But if they want me, this is what they're going to get.
Yep.
So I've got to be 100% authentically me, because this is going to give them an idea of what they're going to get on a daily basis,
Yeah.
whether they know it or not right now. And so that, like, take courage and confidence in that if you're high, like, be completely you.
Yes.
Don't try to be somebody else.
Yes.
Right. There are ways to mature. There are ways to grow. Again, it's always the next step, the next phase, the next season. But don't try to be something else. Take a little pieces away from other people and make them who you are and grow as a leader.
Yeah. Man, that resonates so much with me. I worked at a organization. It was a church one time, and got hired on to do a position there. And I just, I was around a whole bunch of people that I really looked up to. I'd followed from afar. And as I got the position, I started to really think, well, what is it that they want me to be? What is it that they want me to do? And I was trying to be the leader through their eyes that I thought they wanted from me.
Right.
And then it just kind of hit me that, you know what, though, whatever it is I am was enough to get me to the table. I should probably just be me.
Yep.
And once I did that, man, something just clicked, and I actually started to get better.
Yep.
I actually started to grow. I actually started to go to a new level because I was wearing my shoes, not trying to wear somebody else's. So, man, that really, really resonates. And sometimes it's hard to continue to grow and not lose who you are, but it's massive.
I think it's important because that's a developmental process, right? And so we talk about that a lot at the college level about we want you to leave college with momentum, knowing who you are and what you're called to be.
Yeah.
But that's something that people struggle their whole lives with.
Yes.
And I mean, I have friends that have the most unlimited potential in the world, but they try to be everything to everybody.
No.
They still don't know who they are.
Yeah.
And they're successful. They make tons of money. They do all these things.
Yeah.
But they don't know who they are at their core and what they're about.
Yes.
And
there's something attractional. There's something unbelievably attractive about someone who knows where they are, who they are.
Yep.
Who am I? Why am I here? Where am I going? Whenever I do like training things, I talk because it's something that resonates with me. It goes around on what you're saying is back in the day. If you think about the guy who was the partier in school.
Yep.
Who am I? I'm a partier. Why am I here? I'm here to party. Where am I going? It's Tuesday night, man. I'm going to a party.
There's a party somewhere.
But the partier never went alone.
Yeah.
The Apostle Paul, who am I? You read the Pauline epistles, all of them except for one, I believe. We don't know who wrote Hebrews, but all of them, he starts off saying, I, Paul, an apostle of Jesus Christ.
Yep.
He knew who he was.
Yep.
Why am I here? I'm here to become all things to all men so I might win some. Where am I going? I'm forgetting those things which are behind me, and I'm pressing on the high calling. You go, anybody who's truly influential and has a large number of followers, for the good or bad, either way.
Right.
We want to stay good on
There's
this
a counterfeit
podcast,
side
but
there too,
is that when you know who you are as a leader, and you step into that, you actually begin to have people who want to follow you.
Yeah.
Not everybody. There's somebody. Hey, you ain't my type. You're not my type. I can't follow that. But there will be a lot, and I've discovered too, you'll have a whole lot more fun along the way.
Yep.
Being yourself.
Because you don't have to remember what you were to who and who you were to what and what I said to them. And what
I'm just Kevin McKinley Moore, 200 and none of your business pounds. That's what I am. That's what I am.
Just a couple follically challenged dudes sitting here chopping it up.
Yes. So I'll throw you some questions out. What going on the authenticity? What makes authenticity and leadership actually translate into the organizational commitment? We talked a little bit about that already.
Yeah.
And when might that authenticity alone not be enough?
Yeah.
So I am who I am, and how does that translate to it's good for the organization?
Right.
And then on the flip side, when is it that maybe that's not enough?
Right. It's good when when it's what the university needs, or what the organization needs. Sorry,
Mm-hmm.
I'm in higher ed mode. When it's what the organization needs, and so that's a constant assessment as a leader. What does the organization need from me? Because there are seasons.
Yes.
And if you're in a campaign, if you're in a push, if you're in your busy season, if you're in your down season, what does the organization, what do my people need from me? So that's really, really important. But what's the second part of that one?
When may it not be enough? Being authentic, being who I am. When is it authenticity alone not enough?
Yeah. That's where it gets really. This is where it gets hard.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you're in the wrong seat. Sometimes you're being completely yourself, and you got hired for that. But then something changes, or you don't have another level. You're like, yeah, this is me. That's okay, right? And that's where it gets really difficult. And that's where necessary endings kind of comes in, and you say, okay, am I leading strong? Have I the law of the lid from Maxwell, right? Am I at my lid? And sometimes that's okay. But recognizing that what is my next step, and really, I would say I ask my people a lot. Maybe not a lot. I try to ask them regularly. That's a better word. How can I lead you better? Because there are some times where I'm like, man, I'm doing everything I can. Like, I'm being completely myself. I care deeply. We're doing good work. Good things are happening. I'm just not clicking with this team or this department or this person. There are, when you talk about organizational commitment, you're essentially talking about trust.
Yes.
Right? There are 3 T's to trust.
Hit me. I'm ready for it.
The first one is time.
Okay.
And there is almost nothing you can do about it. You can influence time a little bit, however, by the other 2 T's, which is transparency and telling the truth.
Okay. I like it.
But that's how you build trust. You tell the truth.
Time, transparency, and telling the truth.
Telling the truth.
Man, that's good.
That's how you build trust. Sometimes there's nothing you can do about time. It just takes time. I'm in, just started year 2. There are people here that are like, well, we'll see.
Sure, absolutely.
You got those.
Absolutely.
So the best thing I can do, and sort of, this kind of gets back to, what happens if you're like, man, it's just not happening. It's not happening. Well, then stay consistent.
Yes.
Somebody asked me that earlier this year. What is the hardest thing that you're doing? And you could talk about, everybody's like budgets, right?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not everybody, but most people are like, man, budgets, resource, staffing, talent acquisition. Like those are, I think the hardest thing that I have to do every day is to stay consistent and not get too high or too low. And just come in every day, bring my lunch pail with me. Yeah. And just stay consistent and lock in, do the deal and do the deal and do the deal. And that's how you build trust. It's how you people see that because they're watching whether you know it or not. And that's really important. Like, just how can you stay so consistent? It doesn't mean you're a machine. It doesn't mean you don't have feelings. It doesn't mean you don't take vacation. It doesn't.
Sure.
I struggle with that. I'm like, I need to be off of work. Yeah. Right? My wife tells me all the time. But I just can't not. You know.
Speak into that a little bit, because I know the world of the guys and gals that we're talking with, and the RV world is full. And not, I know we have more than just RV listeners, just business and marketplace in general. Yeah. But it's full of ups and downs, deadlines, quotas. I need to get this built, but the parts didn't come in. So and so didn't show up today, so it's going to put me behind. There's all these things that that could possibly get you off of your consistent. Yeah. The attitude that you need to have, the systems, even the systems that you're wanting to run and put into place. I can't now because I got this. What are some things that you have done yourself or working with and from other people is to stay consistent? To stay consistent. What are some? How do you not get? I call it sideways energy, or the tyranny of the urgent that throws you off. Obviously it has before. Yeah. But what are some things that you do to try and stay where you need to be?
Man, This is real rubber meets the road action here.
Yes.
Because
we're going off script.
Man, I mean, this is the hard part of leadership, of organizational life, of staying focused, right? Keep the main thing the main thing. Yeah. Having a routine.
Yes.
Which it can be good and bad. There are days where I'm like, man, this is great. And there are days where I'm like, man, I need to not have a routine today. I need to get off. I need to take a walk. I need to just go out in the woods.
Yeah.
And just be like walk around for a couple hours. Yeah. Right. Just to reset everything and have some quiet and be alone with my thoughts. This is, I think, the crux probably of good and bad leadership. Because I think one of my life verse is Hebrews 12:11.
Okay.
What a terrible life verse to have. Like, let's just
quote it. What you got? What it is?
No discipline is easy.
Yeah.
And so it goes through that. No discipline is pleasant or easy, but after a time, it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who are trained in it.
Yep.
I mean, but that's that discipline, like that word, discipline. And I think of discipline like I discipline my kids, right? I try to discipline my body. I'm not great at disciplining my mouth, but I'm better than I ever have been.
There you go.
So just about like not swearing. I'm not a big swearer, but just about like what I say, how I react.
Sure. Yeah. In the moment.
More like anger or frustration or emotional reaction. Right. And so this comes back to discipline. And so when you begin to discipline yourself. Whether that's a schedule and a rhythm at work. I had a season where I'm a huge Indiana basketball fan. So hopefully we got some Hoosier fans out there. Apparently we're a football school now, so let's just rock and roll there. And I probably shouldn't say that because I'm at Bethel, so come to Bethel. But with Indiana basketball, I would come into work every day when I was in my first few years of work. I would go to an Indiana basketball site. And I would see what happened last night. This is back before I had a laptop. This is back when you only did work at work, right? You didn't bring it home with you or on your phone. This is pre smartphones. I think I had a cell phone at that point. But I would go. That was my first thing, and I felt convicted because I was like, oh well, why am I doing this first? There were days where I came in and hit email right away, right?
Sure.
But then I was like, okay, hold on. Before I click on that site. Now it's before I do. Let's see. What do I do now? Before I go straight to my email or my appointments, I try to listen to I go through the read your Bible in a year. So I try to go through my verse of the day, and I try to listen through on my way to work. I call my dad almost every morning that I can, which is almost every morning, and then I try to listen through the Bible in a year.
That's awesome.
Because those are disciplines.
Yes. Rhythms.
I am bad at the discipline of not bringing my work home. So I'm trying to get better at that right now. And that's not me saying that. That's my family being like, hey, why don't you came in like you were kind of like coming in hot, into the house. I'm like, oh, I wasn't. But I'm like, wait a second. They said I was. So that means
perception's reality.
That was how it felt to them.
Absolutely.
So I need to decompress. I need to get to a place where I'm like, I'm coming in and it's hugs and fun time. You know?
Sometimes you got to take a few minutes. Every once in a while, I'll text my wife and say, hey, babe, I'm going to take the long way home. And she knows I'm going to go through the drive-thru at McDonald's, get a Diet Coke, and just kind of decompress a little bit. So that way when I get home, I've got my husband hat on. I've got my dad hat on. And one of the things when I threw that question out, I was thinking for me, it's like, wait, what is it to stay consistent? And for me, I love what you're talking about. Reset, getting rhythms, pouring into yourself. That way you're full. You got to stay full. And I think a lot of times we get into trouble as a leader when we act out of need. I need to. Well, no, I don't. I'm complete in Christ. I don't need to do anything. I'm complete. So I'm good. So now I'm going to act out of abundance, not need. And that doesn't come unless I'm full. So the idea of the rhythms but for me, one of the biggest things to keep me because, no matter what role you're in, you care about it.
Yep.
And it's going to move you emotionally up and move you emotionally down.
Yep.
For me, one of the things, it's a little game that I played. There's a story to it, but I won't get into the length of it. But it's a little phrase, it's just. So outside of my relationship with Christ, my relationship with my wife, Veronica, my kids and my grandkids, outside of those things, everything else is just.
Yeah.
It's just a meeting.
Yep.
It's just a service.
Yeah.
It's just a training. It's just an email. It's just because it will come and it will go.
Yep.
But my God, my wife, my kids, and my grandkids, they're there. And so for me, I'm not saying I'm perfect at it, ask anybody who works around me, but the idea though is that keeps me level.
Yeah.
And when the part didn't come in, or when there's been many times I get off the stage and I think, man, that was so bad. I need to fire myself. I mean, it was off today. But I say, hey, you know what? It's just 1 week.
Yeah.
It's just 1 week. So that keeps me level.
Yeah.
When one of the things that we were talking about off air, and then also you brought it up as well, is the idea of followership.
Yeah.
Explain that, the idea of followership, and what when you say that, what do you mean in the context of authenticity and organizational commitment and things?
Yeah, the essentially more now than ever, people give their permission to be fill in the blank, right? Human rights are probably at their maybe highest. Individual rights,
yes.
And so people, you have to seek out permission a lot of times. Well, the idea of followership is people give their permission to be led. I'm going through that with a sector of our organization right now. I'm literally asking them as the last question. I'm asking them, will you join me? Will you be all in? And if not, that's okay. You have a choice.
Yeah.
I'm just asking the question, right?
Yeah.
I'm just arranging the meeting.
Yeah.
But it's an important question because there's something about giving your permission to be led that changes the entire perspective and the entire relationship. Like, you know what, man, I don't agree with everything, but I know their heart is in the right place. I know they care maybe more than I do. I know, I see them. That's why time and being consistent and the discipline is so important.
I like those. What'd you say? Time, telling the truth, transparency. Man, that's good stuff.
Because you can tell the truth and not be transparent.
Sure.
And so that's why that's so important. I can tell the truth and I can state facts, right? But I can not be transparent and be like, hey guys, this is really this is what impacts us.
100%.
This is what I'm really worried about. This is what I'm really thinking about. This is what's really coming down the pipe, right? So but then again, it also takes time. Like you got to prove it. one of my professors in my doctoral work, he said this. Dr. Emil Hawkins, amazing. We called him Dr. Hawk or the Hawk. If you're an Andre Dawson fan from back in the day, I called him the Hawk because I thought it was cool, and I'm an Andre Dawson guy. But he said he was talking about integrity. And I had never heard it put this way. And he probably ripped it off somebody else. So I'm giving him credit, but he got it from somebody else because there's no new information under the sun. But he said, your integrity takes a lifetime to earn, a minute to lose, and 2 lifetimes to get back.
In my world, we call that'll preach.
Oh, yeah.
That'll preach. Very much so.
Yeah.
One of the things I'm looking at our notes here, I think this is a great question, is can a true follower, can authentic followership include constructive dissent, disagreement?
I think so.
Yeah, explain that a little bit.
I think
because some leaders like, man, you disagree with me, you don't have my heart. You disagree with me, you're always negative. Explain that a little bit. How's that possible?
I think the best teams are the ones that can disagree, but you can disagree in the right way. If you're a leader and you're surrounded by people that don't have differing opinions, or that don't see things differently, or don't feel like they have the ability to disagree with you, you're not a very good leader. And on top of that, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're probably a terrible leader.
You get a new room.
Yeah, you need to find a big room. You might be sitting by yourself in a closet.
But that's what happens a lot of times, especially when you're the leader that has the ability to hire and put your team together. Many times, I'm not saying it comes from even a bad heart, but we surround ourselves with yes people. We surround ourselves with people who think like us, act like us, do like us, which in the long run can actually hurt an organization, because I have strengths and I have many weaknesses, and I need to have people who see my weaknesses and I trust me enough and I trust them enough to call me out.
Yeah.
So you're saying that when a true follower can actually and should say, hey, I love you and I love our organization, but I love us both enough to say, I totally disagree with this.
Yep. That's a healthy team.
Yeah.
Now, when you leave the room, you leave united.
100%.
That stays in the room.
100%.
But the room should be like cage match style, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it should be like, I disagree with that. Oh, tell me why.
Yes.
Why? Because that's how you arrive at better solutions. It's how you arrive at better ideas.
Yeah.
It's how your organization moves forward.
Yeah.
Is you're willing to tell the emperor, sir, you don't have any clothes on.
Yeah.
You know, put a robe on, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
And that's one of the things you're talking earlier about being authentic and being who I am. Well, a lot of times personality-wise is who I am is I care, and also who I am is I don't like for people to disagree with me.
Yeah.
It hurts my feelings, it hurts my pride, it hurts my ego, but then that goes back to I'm going to be who I am, but I'm going to be a better version of myself. To begin to separate myself from, this is something I have had to really work on, because my ideas are so good. Yeah, my ideas are so good, and I tie myself to my idea. So when you shoot down my idea, you're shooting down me. No, they're just shooting down the idea. It's not me. But is the idea of that is who I am, and I do truly care. And I got to bring that care to the table, but I got to bring it to the table and be a better version of myself, and not hold it against somebody else when they say they don't like my idea. Yeah,
bring it to the table with your hands up.
Yes.
Right? So set it on the table, but leave your hands open.
Yes.
And say like, hey, this is what I'm bringing. This is what I got.
Yeah.
But also be open-handed enough that somebody takes it and hands it back to you. You're like, ooh, that's better. You know? Or
they give it back and say, you know what, I don't like that. Let's go a different way.
Yeah.
And I've been a part of teams before where I've been part of one team. I didn't like this at all, actually. I was a part of a team where, man, we wouldn't talk about what was negative. We just wouldn't go there. We'd put a pin in it. We'll come back to it, and then we'd go back to everything that's good.
Yeah.
Well, that just doesn't. You're going to flatline. And I love being a part of a team where there's enough trust.
Yep.
And when you're serving with leaders that do give time, they are transparent, and you do tell the truth. Trust level goes through the roof.
Yep.
And now, I trust you enough to disagree with you, knowing you're not going to fire me just because I disagreed with you.
Right.
And a lot of times people don't dissent. They don't give constructive consent because there's no trust.
Yep.
If I say this, he's going to can me. She's going to can me.
Oh, yeah.
And that only hurts. Not only does it hurt the organization, I think it hurts us as a leader too.
You know, the best example as a young, I wasn't even a leader, as a young worker, follower, whatever you want to call me, I said that in one of my annual reviews. I was so frustrated because in meetings or in retreats or something, we would come up with ideas and we would whiteboard and we had like the stickies on the wall.
Oh, yeah.
And then we would never hear a thing about it. And so I said to my direct bosses, both of them, I said, why is it that we put in all this time and all this work? I was a very opinionated and passionate young worker.
Yeah. You were given constructive consent. Decent.
I said, why is it that we never even hear about any of them?
Yeah.
And my direct boss, she was like, oh, well, yeah, I ran that up the flagpole. This is why it didn't work, or we thought we needed to do it differently, or we thought, oh, it was going to be another year down the road. I'm like, well, it would have been great to follow back through and let me know that, you know. I just assumed you hated it and it was a waste of my time. Yeah. And so the feedback loops.
That's huge.
Right? And which what we're talking about is a feedback loop.
Yeah.
It's a pretty direct and quick feedback loop. But those that you have other conversations with other people. We had when we were talking with my cabinet team the other day, this a few months ago, we sent out a weekly communication. So we started that when I came in because I wanted everybody here to feel like they were stakeholders, so that they were getting information. Right? This is what's happening. This is what's going on. This is what's good. These are great things that are happening. Well, they came back to me because we were just telling them information. They're like, well, they really want to know about this and this and this. I'm like, well, I'm never going to hear that, right?
Yeah.
You know, I hear really, really bad or really, really good, but I don't hear anything in the middle for the most part.
Yeah.
It just doesn't elevate to me.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, I need to know this. Like, you got to bring that to the table. Hey, this is what people are really wondering about.
100%.
Are we going to get this? Are we going to do that? The word on the street is this and this and this. Well, we need to address those things because the communication that we send out weekly is great.
Yeah.
But it's just information. If we're not telling the people what they want to know, it's irrelevant.
100%. And you as a leader I can't act properly if I don't know the truth.
Right.
If I don't really know where we are, what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Couple more questions for you. What actually creates commitment? The leader, the follower, or the culture between them?
One of the things that my study proved was actually psychological safety.
Okay.
And how that's a major contributor to organizational commitment. Where people feel like not just they're valued, but they feel like they can share their thoughts and not be called stupid, or it's like,
100%.
We're just going to be in an ideating session. We're just going to be and then somebody says something, you're like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You're like, wait a second, I thought this was a safe place, you know? Nope, we're ideating is shut down. Now I'm done, thank you. And then you're like, yeah, it was dumb. That's okay. So yeah, psychological safety is really important. So do people feel, and this kind of goes back to your thoughts that we were just talking about will people dissent? So psychological safety. Do they feel like they can share their thoughts openly without retribution or without, being called names or something like that? But that organizational commitment, so you've got all the different components that go into that. You've got self-awareness, you've got relational transparency, you've got, the factors for each of those. But organizational commitment is not necessarily guaranteed when you're authentic. It's not necessarily guaranteed when you give your permission to be led, even as a follower. Organizational commitment revolves around the same thing. We go back to the basic of the basic of the basic of the basic. Are we all committed to the same goal?
Mission, vision, yep.
The mission and the vision.
Yep.
Is the main thing the main thing?
Yep.
And on top of that, do I feel like I'm part of that, and are we all pulling in the same direction?
Yes.
Because you can do good work, you can have a successful organization. It might not be a healthy organization, but it might be successful. And so those things could be mutually exclusive. But are we all pulling in the same direction for the same reason, with the same goal in mind? I'm reminded of a story I heard when I was working in Florida at a university, and one of our groundskeepers, he encountered, it was planting a tree or trimming a shrub, I can't remember which it was, but Jim was out on the campus, and he had a tour guide and a prospective student walk by, and so he greeted him, kind of went out of his way. He was like, "Oh, hey, how are you guys? Where are you from?" They were like, "Oh, we're good." Then they said, "What do you do here?" And he said, "Oh, I make this campus look beautiful to recruit students like you and to make sure that our students that are already here have a beautiful campus to go to school at, and they love it, and they graduate, and they give back." And I was like, okay, that guy is not just a groundskeeper.
Yeah, that's a whole lot more than I just mowed grass.
Yeah, but he gets it.
Yes.
Right? He gets it. I'm part of the admissions office and staff. I'm part of the fundraising, the advancement staff. I'm part of the culture team here. I'm part of that's a bought in
100%.
That's a bought in employee right 100%. There.
100%.
So it's not. He's like, well, yeah. I mean, I cut grass and trim shrubs and keep it looking nice, but that's not my main job. Yeah. And so, what is the main thing?
Well, just the fact that he was greeting them.
Right.
He's there to trim shrubs. He doesn't. It's not his job. He doesn't have to greet a prospective student.
Most won't,
but because he cares. There's a mentor of mine, Pastor Dave Engbrett. He gave me a statement one time that I love, and I added a little bit to it. But I love this, and it goes with exactly what you're saying. Is that mission plus trust equals success. If you have trust and a mission, you're going to go to a whole new level.
Yep.
But mission without trust equals failure.
Yep.
You can have a strong mission, but if there's no trust, and even talent, you can have great talent.
Yep.
But if you don't have trust, you're not going to succeed. So mission plus trust equals success. Mission minus trust equals failure. And I always say trust minus mission equals fun, but you're not going anywhere. We all like each other. We're singing Kumbaya. We're having barbecues, but man, we're not making any money. We're not making any impact.
Bad organizational
It's a bad organization, but boy, we have fun and we really like each other.
Yes.
But the idea of, everything that you're talking about is you have to have not just have a mission, but a clearly defined one.
Yeah.
One that is it's attainable, it's clear, and sometimes the hard part about leadership, when you talk about what we talked about today, I mean, we talked about we talked about authenticity, we talked about not positional, but trust and telling the truth and transparency. Now you're saying mission. It sounds like a lot of work. It sounds like a lot of work to be a leader.
Yep. I tell people I don't get paid to go sit at basketball games and cheer on our team. I don't get paid to go, celebrate retirements.
Yeah.
That I do for free. The other stuff, that's what they pay me for.
100%. 100%. 100%. Whenever I think about, it's a whole lot easier. One of my favorite passages is in Proverbs. It says that he who walks with integrity walks securely, but the crooked will be found out. And that idea of integrity.
Yeah.
The person who walks with integrity will walk securely. Her leadership will be secure.
Yep.
His leadership will be secure. Their organization will be secure because they have integrity.
Yep.
And it's a whole lot easier to be authentic.
Yep.
And to be real.
Yep.
When I call it the 5 H's: holy, humble, honest, hungry, and hardworking. When you have integrity.
Take that, Patrick Lencioni.
Yeah. When you have integrity, it's a whole lot easier to be who you are.
Yeah.
You don't have anything to hide. I am who I am.
Yep.
And I'm humble enough to say, "Oh, you okay? We don't agree." Okay,
Yep.
But integrity is such a massive part of authenticity, and that's where, put a little plug in, that's where Jesus comes in. That's where Jesus comes in.
Yep.
Because leadership is inside out, not outside in, and Jesus is the one that deals with a little something called the heart.
The heart.
So as we end today. I know you're PK.
Yeah.
I always end with this. How'd you come to Christ? And what's either a Bible verse or a passage of a story that has always meant something to you, and why? I know you said earlier your favorite Bible verse, but how did your journey of Christ, and then also when it comes to Scripture, what sticks out to you and why?
I don't have a huge conversion story.
Yeah.
I don't have a prodigal, anything like that. I've been, my mom and dad are faithful servants. And my dad pastored the same church for 35 years.
That's amazing.
As the only staff member. So
that's amazing.
I mean, I was almost like an associate pastor most of my childhood and teenage years. And I didn't really push back against that. Started playing the piano in church because our church pianist left when I was like
That's how I got the youth
10?
ministry job. Our youth guy left and Dad said, "Hey, son, you in?" "Okay, Dad, I'm in." Yeah.
So 10, 11 years old, I started playing the piano for church, and I think I saw, my current pastor says this a lot, Jeremy Levan. He says, more is caught than taught.
Absolutely.
And I think as a kid, I caught a lot of just giving and giving and giving until it hurt. And so I said, well, I really like the ethos of that. And we were just, whether it's genetically predisposed or, we were kind of taught and caught that or whatever. But I would say my faith really became real when I was in college. Was when it began to become like an actual relationship instead of what we did.
Yes.
Because we were in church every time the doors were open because it was what we didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
It was what we did.
You got to play the piano, man.
Yeah, right. Yeah, or clean the windows or wash the whatever, or roof the church or whatever.
Yeah.
And we lived right next to it in the parsonage too, so it was like we didn't have a choice. There was nowhere to hide. You can't be sick. Mark Lowry used to say like, "Oh, I'm sick, I can't go." It was like, well, throw up and prove it. And then you throw up and you're like, "Now, don't you feel better? Let's go to church." know.
Or hey, I went to a faith-based, kind of a word of faith church, and so it's like, hey, you're sick, we're going to pray for you, son. Jesus,
we'll pray it out of you.
Jesus is going to heal you. You'll be fine. You'll be fine by the time we get there.
So I mean, I never really strayed far from the path, and
that's beautiful.
It is. It's the longer that I live and look back, the more of a blessing it is, because I thought it was like I thought it was a negative, or kind of like, well, I don't really have a story, and the longer I'm like, what a blessing, that I was kept from all that other 100%. Stuff, that I've got friends now even that are still battling against these dark forces and these addictions and these things that have a grip on them. That is just so sad. But as far as what's a Bible verse, a Bible story, a Bible theme that, like, for what whether it's in leadership you continually come back to, or just your personal life? Man, this is hard. There's so
I know it's off the cuff.
Much.
Sorry, I should have thrown this out.
No, you're good.
Way.
This is, I mean, as believers, we should know this, right? That's where are you at right now? Like, what's God talking to you about? There's a lot. I have a lot. Of course, Daniel, because that's my real name.
Yeah. Okay.
So I go back to that and read that a lot. I think the parable of the talents is probably one of the biggest ones, and just really. The mantle of leadership, right? We're talking to leaders at some level, right? Maybe you're just leading yourself.
That's everybody listens to a leader of some sort.
That's a big mantle to carry.
100%.
You got one person to care about, right? And you're him or her.
If I'm not a good leader, I got some problems because I'm leading me.
You're in trouble. Yeah. But I just think of like, what are we doing with what we've been given?
That's good.
That's good. You think, to whom much has been given, much is required. But you're usually given a little bit before you get to, this position, a leadership of a CEO, a president, an executive leader. You start overseeing a bunch of people, man, you better be ready. Because if your integrity and your character don't match the position that you have risen to,
absolutely,
get ready. Get ready for a fall.
Yeah.
Or get ready to pray more often than you ever have in your life. I'd say this position has just driven me to my knees.
That's good.
And so I have to be filled up on those days. And one of the most fun things is I get to preach and I get to speak and I get to tell people. You
got a chapel coming up.
Oh, Friday. Whew, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, I've got a lot of work to do. I talked with Pastor Dave last week about it, I sought some wisdom there too.
Yeah, he's written a few messages. I always tease him. He'll be okay if he keeps practicing. He'll be all right.
Oh, I love him. But yeah, I would just say.
But the idea, to whom much is given, much is.
Yes.
Yeah. What's God given you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a humbling. When you really start thinking about it, and that's where you get out of those funks too. So if you're listening as a leader and you're in a funk, man, you start counting your blessings. You start thinking about how much you've been given, what God has done, the faithfulness that He has had over your whole life. I still, like, every time that all my life you've been faithful, every time we sing it, I choke up. I can't say it. Because I think back through the times where I'm like, oh man, if it was me, like, we're in trouble, boys and girls, But God came through, and He came through, and He came through, and He has over and over and over. That's the story of Bethel University. Yeah. He's come through for 79 years. Yeah. There's been some points where they're like, I don't know. I'm not quite sure where it's. Oh, He came through. Yeah. Okay, we got there. We did this, and then you just, the rest is history from there. So.
When you were saying that about, parable of talents and to whom much is given, I was thinking about somebody that I know here recently has passed, and they're in heaven. So praise the Lord for that. They got it better than what we do, but they don't have something that everybody listening to this right now has, and that would be this. Everybody listening to this, go ahead right now. Go ahead and take a deep breath in, and take a deep breath out. That's a gift.
Yep.
You're alive.
Yep.
And I know it's tough. I know it's stressful. I know somebody's against you. Someone else is for you. The parts didn't show up or money's tight, whatever it might be. You're breathing.
Yep.
And that's a talent. That is a gift that God has given you is life. And so, Doctor, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us and giving us some great words. I really appreciate it. I love you. I love this word that this professor made up, followership.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Oh, it's my pleasure. This is awesome. Love talking about this stuff. I think this is where we see change. Mm-hmm. Is where we start. 100%. You get a nugget or two.
Yeah.
Hopefully something
like my dad says, a nugget.
A nugget.
Nugget.
But yeah, I mean, this is what leaders do.
Yeah.
They're trying to figure out the next thing.
Yeah.
They're trying to figure out, how do I get a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better.
So let me ask you this before I let you go. Last question is: if somebody out there, like our daughter, is in fact, she at the recording of this, she moved in today to her house at BU NMC.
That's right.
The extension down there in Napanee. But if someone wants to find out more about Bethel University, what Bethel offers, because it is Michiana's Christian
College, baby.
Yes, and
absolutely.
So if someone wants to find out more about Bethel, where would you point them? What are 1, 2, 3 steps they could take to start to tip their toes in the water a little bit?
The first place to start would be betheluniversity.edu.
Okay.
So just go on the website, click admissions, apply right there. It's free to apply.
Yeah.
Get us your transcripts. We'll get you accepted.
Yeah.
Assuming you have, a pulse of a GPA, right?
You're breathing.
So that breathing thing was good. Not a pulse to get accepted. I'm just saying a GPA of a certain level.
If you're alive, you're in.
Yeah. So you still get degrees, right? Go to betheluniversity.edu.
Okay.
You could just show up here on campus. We'd love to tour you around.
It's a beautiful
too.
campus.
Oh,
it really is.
Amazing.
I've been on the campus many times, but today coming in, I came in the back ways like, man, this is good.
It's popping. Well, school starts this week, so we've done a lot of work to make sure it is country club level. Yes. Or give us a call, preferably, if you're going to come visit. Maybe give us a call before you head out the door or get in the car. That'll give us a little time to prep.
Yeah.
Just engage with us.
I love it.
Give us a shot. We have scholarships that are amazing, that make Bethel possible. And a lot of those are given by donors. A lot of those are endowed and really purposeful. But we can make your Christian college experience affordable. Mm-hmm. We can make it doable. And you can go anywhere and get a degree, acquire knowledge. I mean, we have cell phones that have more knowledge on them than ever been known to man.
Yeah.
But you can't go to many places and not just acquire knowledge, but grow in wisdom and grow in biblical worldview. Yeah. And knowing who God has created you to be and what He's calling you to do with your life. Yeah. That's
one of the big strengths of, being involved a little bit from the outside in and now more inside that I've noticed, and you've talked about it with Bethel, is you call it mentoring. As a parent, our children they need a second voice in their life.
Yep.
And coming up through, whether that's a teacher, whether that's a youth pastor, whether that's whoever it might be. But that's one of the beautiful things about Bethel University is there are the students will find and can find a second voice. Yep. Outside of mom, outside of dad, and now that they've probably moved, they're coming from the church, they left their youth pastor, they left their young adults director, and they're coming here to Mishawaka. This has been a great place, and I could tell story after story of young people, I almost said kids, young people, that when they talk about Bethel, they talk about the degree a little, but what they talk about is the professor, they talk about the coach, they talk about a faculty member that they met and that did coffee with them or that met them on the regular. That's one of the beautiful things that I've noticed personally about BU.
That somebody has invested probably a lot of time.
Yeah.
Told them the truth.
Yes.
And been real transparent with them about what you need to be able to be successful. And that's a good recipe,
That's
man.
a public speaker right there, man. You pulled it right back to the beginning, put a little bow on it at the end. I love it.
Every now and then.
You're ready for chapel. You don't need Dave Angbrett, brother. You're ready for chapel.
Man.
Hey, thank you so much, Doctor, for being a part. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right.
See you guys.
God bless you. Hey, thanks so much for listening to the RV Community for Christ podcast. So glad that you joined us. Make sure to go to our website, rvcommunityforchrist.com, and check out all the upcoming events. You, your family, your friends will be glad that you did. Hey, hope this helps. Can't wait to speak with you next time.